spectacular. KiSS1023.ca with Johnny from Big Brother Canada. Welcome, thank you for coming in.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. I mean, I should still be in that house right now, but I mean, it's just what it is. That's Big Brother for you.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you don't control what happens and you just have to go with it. But you had a good time, I'm guessing, on the show?
The best time of my entire life. Big Brother is such an amazing experience. Something I've been dreaming about since I was like 13 years old, and I got to live that dream for 28 days in that house, and every minute of it I will cherish for the rest of my life.
28 days, it doesn't actually seem like it was that long. It seems like it was like a week or two that you were there. Because I mean, I'm a big fan of the show. I watch it. I watch all the American ones, all the Canadian ones. But yeah, 28 days doesn't seem like it was that long.
No, and the time goes by so quickly in the house, but at the same time, you're in there 24/7 with these people that you've never met before, so it also feels like you've been in there for months and months with them, because you've had every conversation 10 times over, and you get to know people on a whole different level than your regular friends and family at home.
Yeah, I can't imagine I mean, you meet people when you go to a new job or whatever, but living with people for, however many days that you actually have to be in there for at the end of it is kind of insane. I want to talk about the audition process. I know that it's probably a grueling kind of thing, but what made you want to audition to do it?
So I've been a super fan since I was 13 years old, watched every single season of the US and Canada, watched all of the live feeds. I'm like an avid feeder. I would tweet about endurance competitions the whole night, so I'm that big of a fan. And as soon as I heard it was coming to Canada, I knew that I had to do this. I knew I had to be on the show. And so I auditioned back in season 1, and no dice. And here I am in season 3, auditioned, and I went the distance. So
did you think you'd make it this time around when you?
You start to have a good feeling along the way that things are just working out and sort of aligning. And in my life, sort of all the stars sort of aligned for me to go on Big Brother this year. Okay. So I had a good idea, right at the get-go, that this is going to happen for me.
Nice. Well, it was very exciting to see someone from Winnipeg finally make the show, because it's been 3 years and no one ever.
About time that a Winnipegger reps.
Exactly.
And I have a feeling that I won't be the last Winnipegger in that Big Brother house.
No, but to start it off, being a super fan and really fun to watch, it's good to have someone like you on the show. What's the toughest part that you found about leaving your life here to go and do the show?
Yeah, I mean, the toughest thing about leaving your life is everything sort of has to go on hold. And the other thing about Big Brother is it's such a secretive process. So, there's nothing you can say to absolutely anyone about it. So really, you're trying to get a leave on your life for 3 months without telling anyone where you're going and how you're going and where.
Yeah.
And so that was the toughest part. I think also once you get into that Big Brother world, you have zero contact with the outside world. It's just the nature of the show and how it goes. And so that was tough as well. I mean, no contact with family and friends, no contact to the internet or social media, which is insane if you ask me.
Yeah.
And so you literally hand your phone over, and you hand everything over, and as you go into that sort of Big Brother bubble, it's so crazy.
So it's crazy to even think about. I can't put my phone down for like an hour, so not having it for 28 days would be,
But at the same time, once you're in there, it's a little bit liberating to not have a phone, to not have a wallet to carry around. So it was nice. I mean, now that I'm out and there's a firestorm of social media and fans trying to contact me, that's a little crazy. I wouldn't mind giving it back and going back into the house.
Putting it down, going
Putting it down for a little bit,
for a bit.
But I love my fans and I love interacting with them. So I love having Big Brother on me.
That's cool. And I mean, we are sorry that you're not still in the house. That's the crappy part about it, if you will. The house, though, this year, I want to talk about that because it went through a huge makeover from even season 2.
Absolutely.
And the process of eviction and nominations and all of that. When you walked into that house after seeing seasons 1 and 2, were you like, was your mind just blown?
Absolutely. So I walk into the house, and I mean, first off, we have zero furniture or anything in there, so that was shocking in itself. But it's a very dark house this year. Like, it was very bright and light, and there was lots of bright colors last year in the season 2 house. But this year we've gone with this darker gears, vault type theme. And really, they tie that through the entire house. There's not one place in the house, maybe aside from the bedroom, that is pleasant to be in.
Yeah.
So Big Brother really turned it up this year in that respect with the house, and all of the competitions that they've done this year are absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah, they really stepped it up. You can tell that the budgets went up and all of that. Like just by watching it, you're just like, wow, like the stuff that they're doing is crazy to see. That vault though.
Yes. That vault.
Cool.
So Vault, the former war room from
Yeah.
last year's season, and most of the people in the house, since there were a good handful of superfans this year, which is amazing to see. You don't really see superfans, that many at least, make the house all at once.
Yeah.
And so we all knew that that vault was sort of the war room, and we all knew that anytime that vault door opened, that we were going to have trouble. And right from day one, I mean, it was a whirlwind of a ride. And anytime that we heard Twisto's twist or someone goes in the vault, we started to panic. I mean, the one thing I'm a touch disappointed in this year, where are my key? I wanted my key to the Big Brother house.
That was kind of the shock. Like when last year they had
The key card.
Yeah. It's like you didn't get anything like that.
Nothing like that. This year we went high tech, as of course you can see with the nomination process and the dragging and the which is super cool. Don't get me wrong, but I still wanted a key. I mean, I did have my name on a nice little gear, so when we drew for players in the Power Veto competition, my name is on a gear. But it's just not the same as a key with your name on it that says Big Brother Canada.
Well, maybe we'll get you one made.
Oh, let's do a key. That'd be super cool.
It seems like the host is more, or the show itself maybe more like BB UK rather than BB US now. It seems like that's more influence. Would you say?
Yeah, we're seeing lots of components of the international version sort of make their way into the Canadian version, which I think is great. I think you need to change it up and we need to set ourselves apart from the American one, which is a great series and franchise. But let's do something different here in Canada, and that's certainly where we're at. The only hesitation I'll say about that is there have been so many twists this season, and the twists will continue. I mean, we have only 5 or 4 weeks left now, and 8 people to get rid of.
Yeah.
So you can only imagine how many twists and turns are coming the way for those house guests in the house right now.
Yeah.
So the twists, although they're fun and great for fans to watch, it's hard to adapt your game to them when you're playing Big Brother. And so there were certain components that, like an instant eviction, that totally turned the whole house for a loop.
Right.
And with Neha going, a lot of people's games changed because of it.
Yeah. Speaking of that, because you were quite prominent in that episode of her leaving, would you, if you went back in or started from the start again, would you do anything different?
It's hard to say what you would have done differently in the house. I mean, I look back and I had a target on my back right from the get-go. The Chop Shop sort of put their targets on me because they considered me a physical and social threat. And because I was linked to Neha, and she is such an intense game player, that the two of us sort of got linked together and put on the target. Would I have done anything differently? I don't know. I mean, not knowing what else is going on in that house. I mean, I talk to everyone, you try to form relationships and bonds with everyone, but at the same time, you really don't know where everyone's at. And the funny thing is, you're getting to know people and getting to know them on a personal level, but at the same time, everyone's playing a game behind the scenes. So you don't know if what people are telling you are genuine and true. And I mean, there have been a lot of lies this season in the Big Brother house. Occupations are lies, and it's certainly crazy to come back out and actually see. I mean, for me, the biggest shock, I was so close to Neha in the house. To find out she's a chiropractor blew my mind.
Oh yeah, she didn't mention that at all.
No.
At the start, right?
No one knew.
That's crazy. I want the fans to get to know you, even though we know you because we watched you for 28 days. But I want to get to know a little bit more about you. Something like your worst habit, maybe we can see on TV.
Oh, my worst habit. Well, I mean, I'm pretty lazy, so I like to lay around and not get dressed, which you kind of maybe saw in the house a little bit.
There's a lot of nakedness on the
right.
show.
I only put on nice clothes when we were doing like the Power Veto ceremony, nominations, and evictions. Other than that, I was walking around in sweats and a beater. So
yeah, that's how I would be if I was in there.
You just don't care at some point. You're lounging around all day long, and you just want to be comfortable. So you don't want clothes.
That's when I watch the show and I see people dressed up. It's like, why are you like? I'd be in sweatpants or shorts and just like taking out all the time. So that's your worst habit, just being a little bit lazy?
I think so.
Okay, fair enough. Some hobbies that you're into that maybe weren't shown.
Some hobbies that I'm into. Well, so for me, Big Brother is one of my big hobbies, of course. That sort of everyone knows. But I'm also involved with my condo board at my condo. So there's that. Love my dog, Vito.
Yeah, Vito.
Super fan. So
where is Vito?
Vito is at my mom's place right now. He's sort of made a permanent home there.
Have you seen him?
I've seen him, yes. So I've been home for a couple days now, and I haven't actually gone to my own place yet.
Okay.
I like actually just being laying around and having to help myself to food, kind of like I was in the Big Brother.
Yeah.
So eventually I'll go back to reality.
Yeah.
So I mean, Vito and I love to go to the dog park and hang out. I love to go out dancing and stuff like that. So those are sort of my general hobbies here and there.
And what's on your iPod? What are you listening to?
What's up? So I love Top 40. So I'm all about top 40 music. Katy Perry was on my iPod for the house, so if ever I won HOH, there was some Katy Perry, there was some Sam Smith on there. We had some Headley.
Nice.
So I didn't quite get it in the house, but you know, that's what was waiting for me if I had did win.